Good day, student. I am Akimbo Yewa Emmanuel. I will be your ICT instructor today. We are going to be considering program development. I said our topic is program development. Now, at the end of the class, students should know what program development is all about. Two, at the end of this class, students will understand the necessary step taken when developing a program. What I'm trying to say in essence is we have two lesson objectives for us. Students should know what a program development is all about. That is to say, at the end of this lecture, you should know what it's a program development. You should know what it is all about. Two, at the end of this lecture, you should understand the steps to be taken when developing a program. Now, when we said program development refers to the coding of an individual software or program or the creation of an entire information system and all its related software. Now, what we are saying when we talk about program development refers to the coding, the programming of individual code, set of instructions or software to create either a partial information system or an overall of an entire system. Now, when we talk about program development, we are also saying the stages, the sequence, the steps, the procedures, the laid down rules, the cycle that you need to follow when developing a program. Like we all know, if you are to build a house, there are cycle, there are development phase that we need to follow. We all know as a student coming to school, there is a cycle you must attain, there is a cycle you must follow before you can be promoted to the next class. And likewise, also in some of your classes, you've been taught water cycle, life cycle, and so many other cycle. These are phases that one must pass through when moving from one point to the other. So the same thing happens to the system development now. These are steps, these are stages involved in program development. These are stages involved in program development. Examples of software for program development include PHP, the one we use to design web, to code instructions. We have C++, we have C Sharp, we have Scratch, the one we do in the school there. We have C programming language, we have Alice. I think some of my GS2 kids can work with Alice. Some of them can work with Scratch. Some of them can work with Basic and Python. And I'm intend teaching some of them Android Studio, probably some other classes, so they can have brief knowledge, brief experience about some of this. So Alice, Python, Basic, Android Studio, Ada, and many more. These are examples of of software we use during program development. I remember when I was in the higher institution, when I was doing my project, I decided to pick a particular project that is more robust because I intend to study robotic development, robotic programming. I told my lecturer then, my supervisor, this is what I intend to do. He said, oh boy, you cannot do this. I said, why, sir? He said, there are a lot of things, there are a lot of stages, a lot of phases that are involved, which you cannot attain. Oh boy, please go pick another topic. I went back home, take a critical study at it, and I think, oh, I might not be able to achieve this particular project. Now, what I'm saying in essence is I've looked at the stages, and I've looked at the cycle involved, and I see I cannot attain this cycle. So what I'm saying is, as a program developer, you need to know the stages involved or that will be involved in your what in your programming, so you not be caught off guard. Now, during program development, there are steps, there are stages to be what to be followed. One of them is planning, analysis, design, development, implementation, testing, deployment, and maintenance. Again, the steps involved in program development are planning, analysis, design, development, implementation, testing, deployment, and maintenance. Now, when we talk about planning, you should have a draft steps, a draft copy, a rough copy, a sketch of how you want to go. Before we build our various houses, we have a plan for it. The house is not ready, but the house is already ready, is almost ready rather, on a paper, probably on a paper or on a system using your what? Your stimulation. I also know some of my friends who are into architectural drawings, which I do learn from them sometimes. They want to, they decide to probably build a building for a client, and you see them sitting down doing measurement and paper, trying to bring out the house on the what on the paper before going to decide to lay the what the construction. They are planning. The same thing happens when you are trying to develop a what a program. Two, analysis. You have to analyze. You have to be able to explain. You have to be able to, analyze what you are planning. You know, give a critical thinking, give a critical look, give a critical approach to do so, to analyze those things. How do I achieve this plan? How do I do this? How do I do that? How do I set this ball rolling? How do I suspend this? How do I move this? How do I restart this? How do I do this? You get those things in place. When you are done, you move to design. You now begin to design those things. Design those things, either in graphical format or non-graphical what format. Probably using your flow chart, probably using your your chart, probably using your just anything, just to design that particular thing before you now go to the development, before you now begin to develop those things you plan, before you begin to develop those things you've designed, before you begin to develop those things you've analyzed, you now begin to bring them out one step after the other. After that, you now implement those things. You implement those things. When we talk about implementation with them, I mean trying to achieve those things now in real life what scenario. Begin to develop those things one by one. Begin to write the codes. Begin to develop the codes one by one, either by asking questions, making further research to develop something what better. After you have developed the code, you've written the code, and everything is perfect, you test it, you debug, probably for error. You test, you verify it. After that, you deploy. I mean, give to those people that needed those software or those who asked to develop it. For them, you deploy it, install it for them, let them begin to use, and then you begin to what? To maintain. You maintain. That's like you want to Microsoft give us update every month, every week. It depends on how they want to do their work. They need to keep maintaining what they've given us to what to use. Likewise, you also, when you have something, you maintain it. Because you've built your house does not mean that's the end of your job. You keep maintaining the structure, repainting and patching where necessary. Now, what you're trying to say in essence is, in program development, the first stage is the planning. The second one is the analysis. The third one is is the designing. The third one is the developmental phases. While the next one is the implementation phase before you go to testing, deployment, and and maintenance. If you miss any of these steps during program development, there you are on your own. You are on your way not getting the right result. That is why to write a program is not as easy as people FSH. And likewise, if you know it is as easy as A, B, C. I remember when I was writing my first program in Hello World. It was a bit tedious. It was stressful for me. I don't really know how to go about it, though I've been taught, I have been lectured, but I don't really know how. But when I finally got it, I was so amazed. I was so happy, and since then I've been writing codes, one way or the what or the other. So what we are saying is planning is key, analysis is key, design is key, implementation is key, testing, deployment, and what? And maintenance. Now, what are the characteristics of a good computer program? Remember, I said a good computer program. What are the characteristics? Number one of the characteristic is a good computer program must be friendly. That is, the people must be able to what to use. The user must be able to interact with what with it without you being there to what to tell them what to do. They need to be able to work with your program at will, freely. Should be interactive. Should be friendly. Two, must be self-documenting codes. The program should be able to rewrite itself, make personal what adjustments, give suggestions to what to errors that might what arise while using the program, keeping the log. And that one is a good computer program must be reliable, must be robust. That is to say, I as the user, I must be able to have the assurance that this program is what will not crash, that this software is what is reliable, that this software is user friendly, that this software can keep my codes, can keep my instruction without giving to the other party or without disorganizing the content of my information or data. A good program must be what? Must be reliable. Just like you all know, we have friends that are more reliable. We can tell them our secret. So you must be able to put your secret into those programs and you feel safe putting them there. Reliability. And that one is portable. They don't need to be heavy. They don't need to be what to be heavy. They need to be something portable, something that can be easily be configured, something that can be easily be installed. Not programs that are very what that are very heavy. Characteristics of a good program. And that one is accuracy is what is paramount. A good program must be able to give you an accurate result, give you precision, perfection. Must be what must be perfect. And that one is must be meaningful. A good computer program must be meaningful, not jargons, not just anything. Must be what? Must be meaningful, must be something that is worth working with. Those are some of the 5 qualities of a good computer program. Then also we have the precautions to be taken during program development. I mean, what are those things you need to take note when you are developing a program? Do not rush. Take your time. Study your planning, study your implementation, study your analysis, study every step one after. Don't just rush into the code and start writing codes. Oh boy, you might fail. You might write wrong codes. You might develop different set of instruction, entirely different from what you intend to do. Do not rush. Two rather, be careful and stable when writing your codes or program. You need a stable mindset when writing your codes. Don't be thinking about what you will eat in the night and you are designing a code right now. Don't be thinking of what you're going to move or what you're going to do after you're done here. Your programming need 100% focus. If possible, 101% focus for you to develop your program. Be patient when writing your code. Take your time. Feel relaxed. Don't rush. Don't hesitate. Take everything steadily. Take them one step after the other. Patience is vital. Patience is key. Then 4, no step should be skipped. Don't say, let me leave this one. I will come back to it later. You might forgot. Don't skip any word. And say follow them sequentially. Follow them serially. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sequentially. one step after the other. Then the order of execution must be followed. That's how you have analyzed, how you have written out your step, follow it. Don't later bring step 3 to 2 without doing proper analysis, without doing proper what? Proper planning. Now, what we are trying to say in essence is, as a computer programmer, as a program developer, these are stages involved in program development: planning, analysis, design, development, implementation, testing, deployment, and what? And maintenance. Then our conclusion. Program development is the code of an individual what? Software program to aid further processing of what? Of data. Without a set of instructions, otherwise known as program, the various hardware components will be of no use and capability might not be properly harnessed. Now, what we are trying to say here is, without a program being developed, without a functioning and reliable program being what? Being developed, the various hardware components might be useless. Imagine a scenario where you got a new Android phone without an OS inside. The Android phone is as good as useless. You have a very beautiful house and nobody exists therein. The house is of no use. You have a very good car, an expensive car, and no driver, no knowledge on how to drive the car. Now, what we are saying is every hardware component will be useless if there are no better, secure, reliable set of instruction to control the various what? The various hardware. Remember, the computer cannot work by itself without the set of what? Instructions, without the various lines of what? Of codes. It is the codes that control the various what? The various hardware. That's why we said software are programs, are a set of instructions that controls the behavior of the what? Of a computer. We can see them, but we cannot touch them. We cannot grab them. But we can see the hardware like the monitor, the mouse, the speaker, the scanner, the fax, the photocopy machine, the camcorder. You can see all these various hardware. They will not work if the right programs is not there to what? To support them. If the right program is not there to what? To back them what? To back them up. They will not work if the necessary instructions are not what? Are not given. I have a car of 50 million, 200 million, and there is no fuel to power the what? The car. The car is as good as bad. Now, what we are saying is during program development, all those stages we mentioned earlier must be followed, and none of them should be skipped for the other word for the other step. So the planning, the implementation, testing and what debugging, analysis, and so on and so forth, they are the stages involved in program what? In program development. If you have any further questions to ask based on this short video, you can go to your school portal and send me a message and I will be ready and willing to what? To reply you within few minutes or few hours seeing your what? Your message. Otherwise, you can also visit Google where we have lots and lots of what? Of information. Go in there, type in your question there, and I believe and hope Google will surely filter out your what? Your answer. Once again, I remain Akimbo Yoha Emmanuel. Enjoy your day and remain safe. Goodbye.